Shalom, DC, with Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. And the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, that our oppressor, the white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're not affiliated with any other Christian church or Hebrew Israelite group. 1 West is home where the truth is not under commanding General Yahanna. It is not the truth. 100%. You know what I'm saying? What we're going to get into tonight is a lot of people out there are saying, that us, when I say us, I'm talking about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians who's in the school. We get a lot of we get a lot of feedback or pushback when we say that the world's problem is not our problems. You know what I'm saying? We get a lot of pushback when we say that, and when I say specifically that is because, if you look at across the board, whoever's not in the school, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we're the ones who champion other people's issues and problems and whatnot. And when we do that, we take up other people's issues and problems. We're lessening out the attention that goes on to our own problems. And we're taking up someone else's problems when they don't have no time, no energy, no effort when it comes to our issues, when it comes to our problems, when it comes to our, oppression. We've been oppressed for centuries. We've been crying out for the world to see how the way the oppressor is doing us dirty. And what does the world do? Turn their back on us. At worst, what they come on, man. Let me get that. Yeah. If I could, Baba Kashaw. At worst, what they would do is tell, our slave master, shame on you, and then go back to eating their dinner. That's at worst, or at best, I would say. They would never, Thawada, I appreciate it. They would never go on and actually do something to make some sort of everlasting change. Why? Because if they were to do something like that, it would affect their economy. Why? Because we're the ones who build this, not only this kingdom, but other kingdoms around the world. The slaves, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians built what we know as the free world. And even the other parts of the world, we're still building that. They're benefiting from the advances that we make. And this is all over, in all facets of life. So when we say we have bigger problems than other problems in the rest of the world, we need to concentrate on our people. Why? Because our people are dying from, fentanyl overdoses. Our people are dying from mass incarceration. Our people are getting mass incarcerated. Our people are suffering in these school systems. Our people are suffering in these cesspools that we call, the reservations and the barrios and the ghettos. Places that our oppressor put us. We're suffering in those places, and we need our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, to take their attention off of everything else, and focus it solely on our people. How can we get our people? It's like how can we get our people how can we get our people to get off of drugs? It's like muted for me. 1 second. All right. So we need to get out. We need to figure out how can we get our people off of out of being alcoholics. How can we get our people to stop selling drugs? How can we get our people from being drug addicts? Like that drug addict, what's his name? Burna Boy. You know what's going on with Burna Boy?
I have no idea, but please enlighten me.
This dude said he turned down a $5 million show in Dubai. I want to say it was like Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
He turned down like a $5 million show in Dubai because he couldn't smoke weed and he didn't want to go to jail.
That's crazy. So like, keep first go live.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's so out the water. Mm-hmm. He turned down a $5 million show so that he because he didn't want to stop smoking weed.
So if I may, so them little Hamite babies that they trying to get black people on them commercials to give a damn about. Them little Hamite babies, them little African babies with the flies on their stomach poking out all on the above. Meanwhile, they own rich of their people ain't gonna do no $5 million show. So he denied the show because he's a drug addict, typically. And now them same little African boys that's not eating today on the commercials have to suffer because he didn't want to do a show. And $5 million that he could have put towards his people.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you want to come at black people for us not supporting y'all, y'all struggle.
For 24 hours. I don't even know how long it said a show. It didn't say a series of shows or how long it was going to be there. He could have just flew in. He could have had people fly in before him, set everything up, do sound checks and tests and whatnot, and do whatever, and then fly in, do whatever he had to do, and then fly right back, go straight to the airport and fly out. But since he's such a drug addict, he turned down $5 million. That $5 million could have went to help his, Hamite people, just like you said, the babies with the big eyes, with the flies all over them, the
and flame tummy.
Part of that could have been gone into showers and clean water and whatnot. Maybe I'm not sure. If you ask certain people, it will never happen, but maybe they wouldn't be stinking so much. Maybe, I don't know. He could have put that $5 million to good use, but instead, what's that? Something. But instead, he chose to turn it down because he wanted to be a drug addict. Well, that's good for his people. You know what I'm saying? That's good for his people. He can do that for his people. But our people, we can't be turning stuff like that down because we have a drug problem. We need to get rid of that drug problem altogether and completely. You know what I'm saying? You have something?
I was gonna say that's $5 million worth of bug spray that they cannot use over there. Them flies are living today because Burna Boy wanted to get high and not use that $5 million to buy fly spray and fly swatters for them African babies. Now they must go to sleep hungry and with flies on them because Burna Boy is a drug addict.
Wait, you said because Burna Boy is a drug addict, the babies are gonna go hungry, but the flies ain't.
The flies ain't.
The flies ain't. So you out there in TikTok land, like, share, subscribe. If you got any questions, go ahead and type your questions in here, and we'll answer your questions in a timely manner. If anybody out there on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, or any other platform that we're streaming live on, go ahead and type your questions. If you have a question, a comment, or concern, go ahead and type that in. But just let you know, you are not coming up on here on live on TikTok. If you have something, go ahead and type it in, and we're gonna get to it. All right. What we're talking about is how we need to take our attention off of other people. The rest of the world got their attention on them. Why can't we just stop, why can't we just stop worrying about them and focus just like that, right? And focus on our own people. Why can't we, see how the way, the oppressor treats us and know that we shouldn't demand love from them. We shouldn't demand equality from them. We shouldn't demand anything from them, really. what we should do is turn to ourselves. Why? Because we've been begging and pleading and hoping and praying and wishing for these oppressors to treat us right. You have some?
I got a precept for that.
Oh, let's get it.
A beggar's life in the Apocrypha. What is it? The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 40, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
My son, lead not a beggar's life.
Lead not a beggar's life. We should not lead a beggar's life, right? Keep going.
For better is it to die than to beg.
For better is it to die than to beg. Why are we pleading with the people? Is that it on that? Why are we pleading to a people that totally and utterly hates us, that wants to cease to destroy us openly and covertly? You know what I'm saying? Undercover, they seek to destroy us while laughing at, what is this? Smile in your face, all the while want to take your place. What is that? Backstabbers. Why should we beg to a people like that? Why? When we should just turn to ourselves. The Most High made law, statutes, and commandments for us, to whereas we would be on top, 100% on top, and we wouldn't have to beg for anything. He even made rules. I bet you didn't even know this. He even made laws in our Constitution, because this is what it is. It's a Constitution. He made laws in our Constitution to whereas if you're hungry, you can go someplace and get something to eat and not have to beg somebody for it. You wouldn't have to be shamed. Now let me tell you this. Right now, going to the oppressor and demanding that they provide for us. I'm saying that very purposefully, demanding that they provide for us. Why? Because they don't provide the right type of jobs, whereas we can, or slavery, that we can earn a living wage. Now we have to go to them. Now we demand that, that WIC, demand that food stamps, demand all of that. As far as I'm concerned, that's back pay that they supposed to have been paid us. What happened to them 40 acres and a mule that they promised us?
I'm still waiting on my mule.
Brock says he's still waiting on his mule. You know what I'm saying? Still waiting on his mule. Now, all that stuff. You should never be ashamed if you're down on your luck, and if you're it's a long time between paydays, and the cupboard is bare, and you need some funds. Demand that from the oppressor. That is 100% back pay for the 400 years of RR and M. You know what I'm saying? That's back pay for all the atrocities that they have done to us, all the atrocities that they want us to take our mind off of and put it on somebody else. So now that we can't demand justice, or demand justice for the things that they have done to us, they want us to forget. Oh, that was such a long time ago. I would say, now, would you tell that to the small hats? Would you tell them that the atrocities that happened to them, even though it was bad, would you tell them that it was 80, 90 years ago? That happened such a long time ago. You don't even know anybody who went through that. Why should you even keep up on that that stuff? Just forget about it. Today's a new day. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Someone says, I am just now. He says, Palestine is coming for you guys. For what? Why is Palestine coming for us? We're not the ones that drop bombs on anybody. We don't even have bombs. Only bombs we have is DJ Clue, not DJ Clue. What's the brother's name?
I missed it. Can you say it one more time?
Who be dropping bombs on the radio? DJ. It's not Clue. It's. But yeah, that's the only time that we're dropping bombs is whenever someone goes on the radio is whenever someone goes on the radio and drops, you know, a ill freestyle or drops a hot track, and you put the bomb on them. That's the only bombs that we be dropping. That's it. So why are you coming to us? Why are you saying Palestine is coming for us when we have nothing to do with what's going on with you guys over there? We have nothing to do with that.
I just made a video earlier talking about what it's like to be black over there in Israel right now, and what these Israelis and Palestinians, how they're talking to. Nobody's acknowledging that there's black people that live over there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got bombs that's flying in a country.
Can we say that? Bombs?
I don't know. We're gonna try it out today.
Well,
with them in a war that ain't got nothing to do with the so-called Negro, okay? Nothing to do with a black man. And here it is that they over there suffering, and at the same time while bombs is flying, the video I posted was the Palestinian Israelis coming at black people talking about something. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're married to an N-word. You're married to an N-word. You know, get out of here. You don't belong here. Da 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 da. In the midst of the war,
I seen that. Yeah,
the war. This is during the war. So meanwhile, you know, there is at these HBCUs, there's, you know, black students who are petitioning right now for these Palestinians and for these Israelis, where this is how they're speaking about you over there, to your face over there. Right?
Yeah. I seen this video, and it's no, I ain't even gonna say that. But you 100% right. Someone online says, you know, hey, I'm new to this. What's going on? Well, we are the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We are the I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and we teach our people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, that we are the true Jews. We are the true Israelites by blood. And the people who are saying that they are Jewish are not the people of the book. They are not the people of the Bible. They are imposters. They are not us. And we're telling our people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, that we need to focus on our issues and our problems, and that anything that goes on outside of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians should be focused on by everybody else but us, because we have a whole ton of problems. We have a whole ton of issues and challenges that we need to focus on, and we need to bring to light to our people. Everybody else can do what they do, and we focus in on ourselves. You got something, bro?
Yeah, a comment online from Ricky Graham. I'm going to guess these Palestinians of Israel. I don't know, of descent. He says, you do know that that's in the United States. Y'all do remember what y'all did to Jesus. So I do not feel sorry for your sorry A word. You are not my people.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They are openly admitting that we are not their people. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for telling the world how you really feel about us. Thank you for telling the world how you really feel about us. And just like how the way he said this, or this person, was it Graham?
Ricky Graham.
Ricky Graham said this about us. No sweat. No problem. Go through whatever you're going through without the support of us. I pray you stay on your side, and I pray my people stay on my side. You know what I'm saying? You've never shown any love for us. You Arabs, Palestinians, y'all never showed any love for us. So why in the world should we show any love for you? We like to say the transatlantic slave trade was horrific, which it is, and it was a horrific thing. But I didn't forget that before the transatlantic slave trade was the Sahara slave trade, which had your people putting our people in slavery, in captivity for like 1,300 years. I did not forget that. And I pray my people don't forget that. That's why I'm talking about it. That slave trade that the so-called Arabs, the Ishmaelites we were in that slave trade longer than this captivity. So yes, I know you don't like us. And I just want you to know that we're going to take our love, all of us, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, should take all of our love from any other people that is not ours and put it back on us. Put it right back on us. So what is that? What does that look like? That looks like if someone is strung out on drugs, we need to come together as a community, as a nation, and try and help that brother, that sister out so that they ain't on drugs, whether it be because of some sort of trauma that they're trying to forget, whether it be because of poverty, whether it be because of, some whatever reason that they're on they're hooked on those drugs. We need to address that as a community, as a nation, and get them off of those drugs and keep them off of those drugs. Why? Because give me the strong man, if you could, Baba Kashar. Strong man, if you might. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. This is why they try and get us, or this is how they have been successful at having us look to other nations. This scripture that I'm about to bring out is why the other nations are so successful to get so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to champion, not just being supportive, but champion other people's issues. Look what they did to Kanye and what's that brother's name? Kyrie Irving. Kyrie just simply tweeted something out. And he went on record saying, I'm not apologizing because I didn't do anything wrong. 2 seconds later, how did they say? A few moments later. I'm sorry for what I did. Please don't ban me. Please don't cancel me. I'm sorry. They even had, these rich Amalekites, these rich small hat people, kids, buy courtside seats just to glare at him when he came back. Just to glare at him as he's walking by. Like their problems are something totally different than our problems. Right. Their problems is they get to go down courtside in a front and center and at the center court line and get to glare at somebody for tweeting something. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get my brothers and sisters off of crack. I'm trying to get young women like Sexy Red to stop twerking while she's pregnant on stage. Trying to get her lyrically up when she's lyrically down. Man, I just first heard that song. I'm like, what in the hell? Salakia. Just we're just sidebar for a hot second. That's the first time I heard that song, and I had to change that thing. I'm like, yo. Number one, she can't even rap on beat. Not even rap on beat. And people was like, I hate when people say this about that because like, well, that's her style of rap. Blueface did that too. That's his style. He rapping off. That's his style. Well, tell me in what other genre when people are singing that you can sing off key and people are like, yeah, that's your style. You should keep going. What music? What singer can sing off key? And is known? Nobody. So why are we giving these no talent or less talent? I would say less talent people, some shine. You can't even stay on beat. And then the lyrics, like, come on, man. The lyrics is crazy. Now I'm not down in the realities of what we have in our community. I'm not down in it, but I come from a certain age of rap and hip hop. And even the raunchy and the rowdy, the rah-rah stuff was, had you thinking. Let me take you back to I want to say, was it 96? 96 when Tupac had Me and My Girlfriend? You know how long it took me to find out? Because I really didn't listen to it because I'm from New York, so we ain't listened to Tupac after a certain time. But anyway, when he had that song and I first heard it, I didn't think he was talking about a gun. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was talking about all the stuff that the people are talking about now, he actually put some effort into it and whatnot. But I'm digressing. Salakia. Salakia. That's something, I just had to get off my chest just for a hot, quick second. You know what I'm saying? But back to these bastards who put artists like Sexy Red with no home training, put them out there to make fools of themselves. Don't get it twisted. They make fools of themselves for a little piece of change. They take them out the hood, give them some change, some jewelry, rent them some jewelry, give them some fame, some shine or whatnot, and they go out there and tell them, act like a clown. And these bastards over here is making all the money on us acting like clowns. I'm tired of that. Why? Because we are a special people. We're supposed to be the rulers of the world, and you guys acting like clowns. You're gonna pay for that. This is another reason why we need to take our love off of other people and put it on ourselves. Because if we actually had control over our own community, there wouldn't be no sexy reds. There wouldn't be no ski. There wouldn't be none of that. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason why this whole community is out there is because of this scripture. If you could, Baba Kashaw.
Okay. We had the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house.
No man can enter into a strong man's house. What, Mark 3 and 27? No man can enter a strong man's house. Now, why can't you enter a strong man's house? Is because a strong man is there. You ain't gonna just come up in my house and do whatever it is you want. You ain't gonna just come into my neighborhood, do whatever you want. You ain't gonna just come into my community, do whatever it is you want. In order for you to do that, you must do this first. Keep going.
And spoil his goods, except.
And spoil his goods. What does that mean to spoil his goods? Spoil his goods means to take his possessions. Not only just take his possessions, but actually spoil his goods. You know what I'm saying? If you ever had, you could take like a bowl of oranges or whatever, right? And then put one rotten orange in there. The germs or whatever the bacteria from the one rotten one will spread quickly to the other oranges, other good fruit, and it'll make them rotten and spoiled as well. How do you keep that from happening? Remove that rotten, spoiled thing, or don't even introduce it into the your goods. So a strong man will not even let something spoiled and rotten to exist within his community, within his house. He's going to see those things and he's going to remove it. So he's not going to allow anything spoiled or rotten to come into his house. You got something?
Maybe, like it's such a heavy point within the scripture that you're bringing out when it's talking about the strong man in general. Like, you leave it up to the Christian church. You put it in the hands of the Christian church in white America. There is no definition of a strong black man. You know what I mean? The tarnishing of a black man has been in the works for a very long time. So when the things that it is that's entered to our house, all those things right there was talking about when it's talking about spoiling his goods, like when it say you first gotta be a strong man, you can't be no, sissy, you can't be no wimp, you can't be a fool, can't have no wisdom, and that I just recognize that isn't taught and passed down, and leave it up to the Christian church in white America.
Exactly, 100% right. And you, in order to be a strong man, you have to be a certain way that is not in our community, in large, in mass, in general. Right now, what do you say? You can't be the ISI, whatever. You can't be that. You can't be. And what's pushed that? You know what I'm saying? You can't be weak. You can't be gullible. You can't be nigh unto Eve, because if you're any of those things, and a lot of times, even if there is a man in the house, he is one or all of those things that I just mentioned. He is not a strong man. And if you were to think, if a strong man was in the community of Sexy Red, and she wanted to be a musical artist, you think that the strong man that was in her house would let her go outside looking like the worm from Men in Black? You think they will let her go out dress any kind of way, saying any kind of thing? You think that would? Why? Because she would have somebody to answer to. She would 100% have somebody to answer to, and she would say, me doing this is a greater loss than me having to answer to me doing this. So I would rather not do this than have to answer to me doing this. And the reason why she went ahead and said that, why? Because you ain't my father. You ain't my daddy. You can't tell me what to do.
Right.
Keep reading.
And spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man.
Except he will first bind the strong man. I'm gonna come back to you, Christopher Barnes. He said something very interesting. Very interesting, and I believe what he said, has a lot to do with his belief system, right? But in order to do all these things, you have to first bind the strong man. And how are they binding the strong man? They have many weapons of destruction in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian community. Number one is Christianity. That's the number one drug right there. Christianity, that have you looking weak and stupid, saying all manner of ridiculousness out your mouth. Right. And just like what you were saying, the manliest thing in Christianity is what TD Jakes, when he put a whole microphone in his mouth, brother. Like, are you serious?
He did that. He did.
The whole thing. He didn't bite it from the side. Salakia. Pause. He put the whole thing in his mouth. He didn't hand the mic to the other brother that was coming up. He could have did that. He could have had someone, hey, come on, hold this real quick, and then take his mic off or take his jacket off. But no, he went. The thing that he thought to do was put the mic in his mouth. Pause. Pause. Like, come on, son. Yo, that is the manliest. That is the manliest, example in the Christian church. Y'all seen him twerking at the but he was like dancing and whatnot.
No, didn't see that either.
Like, yo, like, come on, man. His spirit showed forth.
That's crazy.
His spirit showed forth. He was at some event. TD Jakes, yes. TD, I like to call him TD Snakes. But yeah.
TD opens the gates. That's what he do. He do something.
He was at some event and he was up on stage. And they was like sharing. I think they introduced him for a second, and he was like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." And then he started dancing and whatnot. Like, come on, son, come on.
Yeah, that's foul.
Right?
That's flag on the play.
Exactly. So, in order for you okay, so I was going over down on the list, right? So that's what Christianity, drugs. You know what I'm saying? The heroin, the crack cocaine, all the weed is a drug. If you smoke weed and you can't stop, you're a drug addict. Even if you think you could stop, you're still a drug addict. You popping them pills, whatnot, drinking syrup, sipping on that lean, you a drug addict. What else? Simping. That's a whole nother thing that got us destroyed and whatnot. There's a whole list of things that totally destroys us. Whole list of things. Now, real quick, there's a brother online that's on TikTok, Christopher Barnes. He said something that I just 100% do not agree with. What's up?
Oh, why just say TD Snakes and the crew move their hands in double Dutch motions without the rope?
Oh my goodness! Oh man, why did that paint a very vivid, very vivid image? Yes, and that's who we're supposed to look up to. That's your leader. Is this not your no?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got bishops that twerk and dance and put microphones in their mouths.
Mm-hmm.
I have a general.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's it. That's all. Who cares for his people enough to know he will not do any of that? Call out that wickedness and know he ain't gonna do any of that wickedness. But this brother, he said there is no racism in heaven. He said there is no racism in heaven. Slacker, give me the scripture that says, and we will take them by the hand. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get there with you. He said there's no. Hold on, Salakia. You know what I'm talking about?
What was it again that you said? He would take them by the hand.
Well, and they will cleave to us, and we will take them by the hand. I mean, there's a whole ton of scriptures that says the kingdom of heaven prefers one people above anybody else.
If I could. The kingdom of heaven is so rich in racism. It's so rich and nutritious in racism that to get through the gates, each gate has the name of the 12 tribes of Israel. And if you're not from that gate and you standing in line, you're gonna become the caboose. You're gonna move to the back of the line because this line ain't for you standing in the wrong line. The unemployment line is the other line.
Right.
You're standing in the wrong line. That's how racist it is. If you are not this race, you can't even get in. How do you even come outside of the club? You can't even get in.
Right.
This is Isaiah 14:1.
All right, Isaiah 14:1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
So the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Who is Jacob? Jacob is the progenitor of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian brothers and sisters. Salakia. Kev Doolittle, for water, brother. I appreciate it. Crowns by Shapat. Shapat Dayan. You want to get a hold of him? Get a hold of him, right? What was that? Isaiah
14:1.
Okay, keep going.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
So he's telling you he's going to have mercy on Jacob. He's going to have mercy, right, on Jacob. So-called Black, Hispanics, Native American Indians. Keep going.
And will yet choose Israel.
And he's going to choose Israel. He's going to choose his offspring. So-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. If you know anything about the covenant, is the covenant of our God, who is the God of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? It's always like that. Nobody else. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Keep going.
And set them in their own land.
And set them in their own land. That is the kingdom of heaven. He's going to put us in our own land, right? The kingdom of heaven. Keep going.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
And the strangers shall be joined with them. So he just mentioned who he's going to choose. He's going to choose Israel. He's going to put us in our own land. That's going to be the kingdom of heaven. And then the strangers is everybody else. Everybody else. Keep reading.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
All right, so strangers are going to join them in the kingdom of heaven. And they shall cleave. What does cleave mean? They're going to hold on, like don't let go. Take me with you, please take me with you. That's what that means. They're going to cleave. You have something?
Verse 2. And the people shall take them.
And the people, who is the people? So-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. He said he's going to take them.
And bring them.
No, let's go back to take them. He's going to take them, which means the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that is going to be in heaven is going to take them and bring them. He's going to take them from wherever they are and bring them
to their place.
And bring them to their place, right?
And the house of Israel shall possess
And the
them.
house of Israel shall look over them.
Possess them.
And the house of Israel shall hire them.
Possess them.
What does possess mean? It means own. The house of Israel shall own them. And you want to know why? Here's a big secret. Why they're going to cleave unto us and we're going to take them. Why? Because it's going to be, the whole world is going to be in rubble. You know what I'm saying? Right here in the United States of America is going to be a lake of fire. Thermonuclear war, and it's coming. It's almost here. It's almost here.
Right.
They're gonna want how the way the refugees are running from Ukraine, and the refugees are running from Palestine and whatnot, and they're looking for a safe place to stay. Why? Because wherever they were coming from is all in rubble. There's nothing there. There's nothing that can be there. That's how the whole world is going to be. The whole world is going to come up against Christ and lose. And they're going to cleave unto us as we go into the kingdom of heaven. That's in the script. That's why they said they're cleaving unto us. That's why. And then we're going to take them and possess them. You understand? And we're going to possess them. Who is going to be on top? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Who's going to be the servants? It's going to be everybody else. If you're not a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, you are the everyone else. You are going to be the possession, just like we were the possession in all of your kingdoms. Doesn't matter what lineage you came from, we were your possession at one point in time. You understand? Any more on that?
Hold on, make sure.
Oh yeah.
It says, "And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord."
And the land. What is the land of the Lord? That is the kingdom of heaven. That is the kingdom of heaven. Hold on.
There's more.
Keep reading.
In the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
They're going to be slaves. They're going to be slaves. Someone's going to need to plow that field. Someone's going to need to chop down that timber to build up my mansion. Someone's going to need to chop down that timber to build up my barns where y'all going to be sleeping. You think we're going to do it? Someone's going to need to dig out these stones in order to build up, my forts. Well, we don't need forts because there ain't going to be no wars. But someone's going to need to build up my mansion, my estate. Someone's going to have to do it. Someone's going to have to take these, these lands and level them out and put up glorious structures.
Somebody got an HGTV that.
and it better not fall.
Nice sturdy.
Yeah, it's going to be sturdy. Someone's going to have to do that. I know y'all can't cook, but someone's going to have to slave in that kitchen. Just like Aunt Jemima, just like all those, mammies that was slaving in the kitchen, and it better be seasoned properly, or the skin off your back is going to come off. Keep reading.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
You can't make this up. We're going to take you captive. Now it says y'all cleaving to us. Y'all are begging for this. The other nations are begging for this. Y'all are going to be captives, whose captives we were to you. Y'all are begging for this. All these other nations that will survive, because there will be peoples from every nation that will survive the Third World War. And once it's over, once the dust settles, everybody will be in subjection. Everybody will be in subjection. And there's going to be one place that's going to be standing, and that's going to be the kingdom of heaven, our land. And we'll take you as captives. You will bow your head. You will do what we tell you to do. You will not look us in the eye. You will call us master. Y'all like to use that word so much. Well, in the kingdom, you'll get to use it, but you're gonna have to put massa on the top of it, right in front of it. You're gonna have to put massa in front of it in order to survive. Or don't say nothing at all. You just put your face in the dirt, look at, kind of looking up, and you may survive. You may survive that. If you survive the Third World War and you can't survive the aftermath of it, oh man, it's not over there. We're just simply gonna hit the reset button and send you back. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But then you're gonna be captives, right? Keep reading.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
And they shall rule over their oppressors. Who are our oppressors right now? Anybody who is not a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian is our oppressor. But the main oppressor is the Edomite, is Esau. Is a man who is in charge of the earth today. They are the main oppressor, and they are going to be righteously oppressed. That's what's going to happen, and they're going to beg for it. They're going to beg to be taken into captivity. What does it mean to cleave? It means like, hey, hold on, don't go. Please take me. Please take me. That's where the cleaving part comes in. Yeah. If you could, Baba Rashad. Yeah, I'll take. Yeah. So water. Shell says Republicans are trying to erase MLK from textbooks in school.
He should be.
Man, you took the words right out of my mouth, brother. I don't want him to. I don't want my son to know about him, but I do want my son to know about him at the same time. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any type of sense. You ask him?
I was gonna say, if I may, like when we talk about it, when we go to the Bible, you look at the records, like even from our kings, King David, we don't just talk about the good that they did, but we also talk about their shortcomings and their failures. I mean, Martin Luther King would just simply be someone of what not to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to the history books.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Give me First Maccabees chapter 2. Give me First Maccabees chapter 2.
Verse 11.
No, we ain't gonna go there. Not yet. Because you said something heavy, not only we talk about, our heroes, the men of honor and the women of honor, because there are some women, not a lot. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not a lot. But there is some women of honor that are mentioned in the Bible that we need to study so that we can know exactly how our nation should be. You know what I'm saying? And then there are some women of dishonor, and there are some men of dishonor. You know what I'm saying? Just one off the top of my head, Nabal was a fool. Was an outright fool. Almost got himself, all his men servants destroyed. Their life subscription, they was about to get canceled because of a fool leader. That goes to show you, even when you're at a slave, and if you have a stupid leader, you have a stupid manager, you have a stupid CEO or something like that, leave and get another slave. There's always other slaveries. Why? Because that fool almost got, all of his men servants, and he almost made them become hashtags. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he was a fool. And you can relate this to times and now. Anybody ever heard of Enron? They had some leaders who did some very wicked and evil things with their money, and the people who were supposed to go and retire off of those monies, they didn't have anything. Why? Because their leaders were stupid and foolish. They were Nabal-ish. You know what I'm saying? If you know your leader is stupid, leave. because you cannot get good fruit from a bad tree. That's in the Bible, right? Shout out to SHALAM. That's in the Bible. Get me what we got. Start at 1. Salakia.
When you said if you see this man that has, whoever it is, man or woman, that has a platform of leadership, you know what I mean, and they sound unwise. The Bible say that the priests and prophets of old in Jeremiah, you understand, prophesied against these things. And in this time, you're gonna find out when the prophecy comes to pass who was the real leader and who wasn't. You know what I mean, in the book of Jeremiah.
Right, exactly. You see how the way, people who claim to be following Christ, and you see what they're talking about, and nothing good comes from them. You see what Commander General Yahanna is talking about. He's been talking about this, since he came in the truth, and the reason why he was talking about this since he came in the truth was because he learned it from the people who taught him that was in the truth. So all this stuff that's happening right now has been talked about since the 60s. You understand? World War III has been prophesied way back in the 60s. Before that, why? Because it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. So, Salaki, let's read.
What did you want in First Maccabees chapter 2?
Let's start at 1.
The book of First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jored, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. Verse 2. And he had 5 sons: Jonan, called Cadus, Simon, called Thasi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar, called Avron, and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphus, who, when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem.
So he saw the blasphemies, the wicked, stinking, filthy lies that was actually being committed in Judah and Jerusalem. What are those lies? It's something that's going on even now, today, in this time and day and age. All this stuff, it happened to us before, and it's still happening to us now. Shell online says, MLK messed us all up, and she also said MLK should have let that alone. He didn't know what he did to us. He did and he didn't. At the end of his life, he's more known for I have a dream. I have a dream. And he's actually in the Bible. Martin Luther King. What's that?
I said versus the faulty of that dream.
Yeah, Martin Luther King is in the Bible. If he was because they purported him to be, they said he was a genius. He graduated, college, or let's say something like that at 16 or something like that. And he was a really smart dude. But if he was so smart and he did his college stuff in less time than what normal people do, he should have read Jeremiah, where it says, do not listen to the prophets, the false prophets who come in my name preaching lies, saying I have dreamed. If he would have known that, he wouldn't have done what he did. But alas, we put our faith in faulty men, unfortunately. You have something?
The Bible say that the heart is deceitful above all.
Exactly. The heart is deceitful above all. And what was his heart really about? His heart, when they say his heart, they're really talking about your mind.
Right.
They're not talking about how you feel and hear, give you all tingly and goosebumps and whatnot. No, they said what you think about the most. And what was he thinking about the most? White women. That's what he was thinking about the most. And how in the world can he get his white woman? And the reason how he can do that is by integrating us, saying we're all equal and whatnot. And little black boys can hold on to little white girls and whatever. That false, faulty, dream. He's known for that. When what he should have been known for was few years later, he's saying, I feared. Now listen to this, because this is actually on tape, him saying this. It's not just an interview, so somewhere, typing the words and whatnot, and they put it in there. He's on tape saying this. I feared I have led my people into a burning building. He didn't have to fear that, because that's exactly what he did. He led us into a burning building. Because of that, we don't have our own businesses like we used to. We don't have care for our own people like we used to. We don't look out for our own people like we used to. We don't have our communities like we used to. We don't even teach our kids anymore. Even if there are black teachers in those schools, they have to teach white curriculum. Yeah, other people tell them what to teach our kids, and we can't even deviate from that. So Martin Luther King, he should be and he shouldn't be in history books, and he should be in history books. Whereas we should teach our kids not to do what he said. Not to do what he said. Why? Because they bound the strong man and put him in there. He was our goods that was spoiled. He had natural charisma and whatnot. He got people to listen to what he was saying and whatnot. Now, if he actually had the truth, he could have been a dangerous man. And if he was so much about, and if he was teaching love, just looking at the message that he was teaching love and peace and kindness. If an oppressor slaps you or spits in your face, give him the other cheek and let him do it again, which was a bastardization of what is actually in the book, because they are our enemies. Why would you kill somebody like that if he was just teaching all love? Martin Luther King is a joke. His message, his integration message, has done more to harm black people than a lot of other white supremacy stuff. Why? Because at least back then, when we had white supremacy in our faces, we knew what it was. We knew that that's an enemy. We can't trust them. But with what Martin Luther King did, he got us to trust him and led us into a burning house. We were better off without him.
Right.
We were a lot better off without him. Let's get back to Maccabees. Is there anything else? You had some? All right, let's get back to Maccabees.
Verse 6, and when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me. Man, destroy me. I don't want to live to see this disgustingness. I don't want to live to see, our women singing ski and WAP. And what color is their private areas?
What color is their private area? Come on now.
Catch the op.
Catch the op, circle the block and catch the op, and one of the worst ones, eating. Like, come on, son. Come on. He was like, man, woe is me. I don't want to live to see this. I knew where we were. And I know where we're supposed to be. And to go ahead and see our people so destroyed like this. Go ahead and see that, man. If anybody's ever been to a place where there's a whole lot of junkies, a whole lot of people that's strung out, actively strung out on dope, man, it's like a war zone. It's like seriously, like The Walking Dead. You see something like that, and they're supposed to be the jewels in the Most High God's eyes, and this oppressor got us like that. How the way we walking around doing a dope fiend lean and whatnot, half awake and half not, just all zombied out. This is what he's saying. He's like, man, I don't want to live to see this. I do not want to live to see this. Slocky, I shouldn't be saying it like that.
Nah, you on point with it, because like when you really think about it, like we so far disattached from our culture and from our history that's been stripped from us, that we don't even recognize this really how royal we really are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that salt of the earth, when the Bible talks about being that salt of the earth and all that above, and just being the flavor to the entire world, and having just the wisdom. like we so detached from the Bible that we really don't see, like, man, what you just broke down as far as the dope fiend lead, and you know what I'm saying, being walking zombies, and you know, seeing us at the bottom of the totem pole, seeing us at the bottom of society, whereas we was the people that the entire earth was governed underneath, and we ran kingdoms, and you know, to see us where we at now. Like our oppressor, like I see full on through why it is the Lord said that our oppressor is the most subtle beast of the field. Like, because this to take a people that was in charge and royal, and to put them in rags, and to put them, you know, such at a low stance to where now they don't even look at themselves as royalty. I mean, it's, you know, that's insane. That a couple months ago when that app was going around, that everybody was using to make themselves look like princes and kings, like that looked far-fetched to most people. But that is our culture. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we come 100%. From. Like, we was rocking them studs and the headpieces like you got on. We look at that as, oh, people in the world look at that as like it's weird or something. Or look at that as, oh, what are these guys wearing? Like this, you know, this is really fly. Not them extremely skinny jeans, not that crop top, not them booty shorts, but a sister that can put together a dress and throw some fringes on there. Like that's really fly.
Right.
Versus you got, you know, your tail hanging out with fishnets. That's not, you know, it's we so far detached. Like we really been, our oppressor really done did a number on us.
Exactly. And this is exactly what Mattathias was saying, man. He knows where we are, where we're coming from, and where we're supposed to be, and he sees us doing all sorts of wickedness and whatnot. He sees, you know, I saw a picture of Sexy Red where they said she got booed in Cleveland or something like that and whatnot. And the picture she was in, she had like a doggone onesie with a belly out, pregnant and whatnot, and high heels. Like, yo, are you serious? Like, come on, man. We're supposed to be a nation of kings and priests. Our women are supposed to be like a woman, just like what Kamikaze said, you know, it's supposed to be, you know, like our weapons, concealed. You know what I'm saying? That's how the way our women's supposed to be, concealed. You ain't supposed to see them like that. Now, don't take it like to whereas, you know, how the oppressor Ishmael has their women concealed. No. No, we're only supposed to see, you know, the slits of their eyes. Like, come on, man. Come on. That's how the way they take our records and don't know what in the world it is. Just like the oppressor, the Edomites take our records and don't know what it is and does something totally and completely off with it and say God loves everybody. God doesn't love everybody. You hear me? Let me look into this camera. God don't love everybody. You understand?
Also, Wad just said we invented appropriate fashion, not squeeze jeans and tight tees.
Squeeze jeans and tight tees. Bars. Bars. Exactly. The appropriate fashion. And even the skinny jeans. The skinny jeans, you know what I'm saying? That's not our culture. But that didn't become popular until we were forced to do it. When I say we was forced to do it, it's going into what Mattathias is so upset about. Right? Let's keep reading.
He said, "Woe is me! Wherefore I was born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there. When it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers."
Right. So he may look, all this, not just my people, but my dwelling, my city is being bastardized and whatnot. They're holding, you know, in the holy temple where not anybody can go in there. There's even laws in the saying the people of Israel can't sometimes go in there. You know what I'm saying? If a woman gives birth, she can't go in there for between, well, I would say like 40 and 80 days. So even, you know, there's certain people, if you were sick, you can't go in there for a certain amount of time. If you laid with somebody, you can't go in there until a certain amount of time. There's laws that even forbid Israelites from going into the temple. Why? If you went to a funeral, you can't go into the temple for a certain amount of time. Why? Because it's to protect everybody else, protect the other nation, the whole nation from possibly catching whatever it is that that person may or may not have. You have to quarantine yourself for a certain amount of time before you're allowed to come back inside. Now, these bastards, bastardize our temple. Let all sorts of heathens and dirty animals up in our temple. And this is what he was talking about. It's like, man, I'd rather, have the reset button pushed on myself, have the life subscription canceled than to see this. I'd rather become a hashtag, a memory, RIP Mattathias, hashtag RIP Mattathias. That's what he would rather have seen, rather happen than to see this stuff, this wickedness happen in the holy temple. They said the temple had huge candles made of gold. The candle holders made of gold. When I say huge, I'm talking about, how big like a redwood tree trunk is? A redwood tree is supposed to go up, hundreds of feet and whatnot. And it's like, I want to say it's like, probably 10 or more feet. It's circular. Candle holders as big as that, made of pure solid gold. It's in a temple. And ornaments and everything, and gold and silver and these fine gems and whatnot. And you have these Edomites having a country line dance concert in there, a crab eating contest and whatnot. These bastards, right? Keep reading.
Verse 8, her temple is become as a man without glory.
So hold on one second, Salakia. No, sorry. He says the temple has become like a man without glory. Now, what does a man without glory look like? You can go down, to Skid Row and see our people in destitution. You know what I'm saying? Those are our men without glory. And you know what's even worse? Like, that's something obvious. We can see, a homeless brother who's down on his luck may have made a bad decision or two, or a series of bad decisions, and he was put in that position. Mother brothers in jail, you know what I'm saying? Made a bad decision, been at the wrong place at the wrong time, and made the wrong decision, and now they locked up. And the only reason why they're in that position is because our oppressor gave us those options. It's like, all right, would you rather, it is a messed up. Would you rather get stuck with a knife or get shot with a gun? These are bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? Right. Those are our only options. Your only option. You ever seen I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
Hey,
You can take the window or the stairs. You know what I'm saying? You can take the window or the stairs. Those are both bad decisions. You would think, hey, I'll just walk down the stairs. Nah, they throwing you down the stairs. Let me go out the window. Nah, they throwing you out the window. They giving us bad decisions, not bad choices, and we have to make decisions on those bad choices that these bastards gave us. And because of that, we are destroyed. And this is what it's saying, a man without glory. Now, those are obvious. Now, let me give you the less obvious men without glory. Jay-Z, Kanye West. These are some men without glory. Just because they have some money, you think they got peace? You think Kanye West got peace? He can't even see his kids like that. At one point in time, he had to go to social media just to see where his kids are having a party, just to see his kids. You think that's peace? That's no glory at all. That is a man without glory. Just because Chris Rock, How could I forget? Will Smith. Will Smith got all the money in the world. Had the fame and popularity. I think he still got some popularity. Now people are, feeling sorry for him. So his popularity is kind of going back up. You think he has glory just because he has some money? Nah. Those are the ones that is not so obvious as well. How about the brother that's just doing a 9 to 5, keeping his nose clean, and going home to a wicked woman, and no one knows about it? That's a man without glory. And you can honestly see that when you go to work. You can see that. This is what the temple was like. A man without glory. Let's keep reading. Salaki, we're gonna be on messing with this First Maccabees.
Verse 9, her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants slain in the streets.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Talking about, his people. Now, all of ourselves is being carried away. Someone said, I heard someone say that, like, these female rappers, the Megan Thee Stallions and the, Cardi B's and the Sexy Reds and whatnot were supposed to be, industry plants, meaning that they do the bidding of whoever their master, their handlers are telling them to do. And their message, what they're supposed to be doing is destroying us. We're carried away, right? Keep reading.
Her young men with the sword.
Her infants.
Her infants are slain in the streets.
Just like Michael Brown, just like Tamir Rice, just like Alfred Sterling, just like a countless number of brothers and sisters being slain in the streets. How about this? Just this past about 2 weeks ago, I had told you about this earlier. Skinbone had a Halloween party, even though we ain't supposed to be celebrating that garbage. He had a Halloween party, about 16, 17, something like that. People got shot. Someone lit the place up. I seen the aftermath. It was like a before and after of the aftermath. People celebrating, happy, and 1 minute later, bodies was on the floor. Blood was everywhere. Our infants are slain in the streets. Keep reading.
Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
There are young men with the sword of the enemy.
Right.
Her young men with the sword of the enemy. This is talking about we having our enemy's weapons. What is our enemy's weapons? The obvious stuff. Is that that Glock, that Draco, that AK. Shoot, AK is in the name. Kalishnikov. What nigga? It's like what Negro named Kalishnikov. But these are weapons of our enemies. These weapons. But what is some weapons that is of our enemies that is not so known, it's not so in your face? How about hit them up? You know what I'm saying? How about no Vaseline? What's that?
Abortion.
Abortion kills more than cigarettes. I want to say.
More than police brutality.
Way more than police brutality. And police brutality.
More than gang violence. Police
brutality is up there. More than gang violence. You know what I'm saying? More than gun violence.
350,000 a year.
I want to say gun violence is like. I'll say this. I seen a statistic where I want to say it was probably in the whole country. It was like 3,000 to 4,000, 3,000 to 4,000, and it was like in Mexico. It was like during the cartel wars. It's like 20 to 25,000. Abortion. How much you say? Say that number again.
Over 350,000 a year in the
every year, every 365 days is over 300 and what? 35?
350,000.
350,000. unsubscribe buttons. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? These are weapons of our, of our enemies. This is what we've taken in our own hands to destroy our own selves. And why are we doing it? Why? Because we love everybody else instead of loving ourselves. I want to see the numbers. How many other nations in America that have abortion? I'm willing to bet our number, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indians, probably double or triple that number.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Let's keep reading. Salakia.
What nation have not had a part in her kingdom?
Exactly. What nation does not have a part in destroying us? That goes for the Edomites, the so-called white man. That goes for the so-called, Arabs, East Indians. You know what I'm saying? The Hawaiians, the Samoans, and whatnot. The Asians. Of course, the Africans. All these nations had a hand in destroying us. All at one point in time, all of these nations have had a hand in it, and they are guilty. They have never been held accountable for what they have done to us. Let's keep reading.
And gotten of her spoils.
Uh-huh.
Verse 11. All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she has become a bond slave.
A bond slave. So, like, I'm going to drop you down. Go down to 15.
Verse 15. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice.
So all these people that that wanted to go up against that stinking nation, the oppressors, officers, he got them to make a sacrifice. Right? Keep reading.
And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together.
Right.
Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise,
right?
Thou art a ruler.
So now they're using sweet words and whatnot. They want them to sacrifice unto the king so they can put this rebellion aside, and we can get back to business. Now you can go ahead and continue smoking your weed. You can continue go ahead and getting these abortions. You can continue going ahead and popping these pills. We can go on celebrating, Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and having these seafood crab boils and whatnot. We can go back to life as normal. They went to Mattathias, and Mattathias came there. Everybody gathered there to hear what this officer had to say, right? And they said, "Hey, man, you a ruler. You are amongst your people. People listen to you. You and your sons, right? Keep reading." He came with sweet, kind words.
He said, Thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in the city, and strengthened with sons and brethren.
The scripture says, a gift destroys the heart. Mm-hmm. They're trying to give him a gift of, sweet, kind words. Mm-hmm. There's another scripture that says, what's the scripture where it says, I'm paraphrasing, but they basically say, beware of his words,
smooth words, buttery words.
Yeah, smooth and buttery.
Isaiah, I think 21. It's in the book of Isaiah.
So yeah, they're talking about smooth and buttery words. You be careful of people who talk like that, right? So he's trying to, lay it on thick, so to speak. Man, I can't with this dude. Let's keep going.
Verse 18. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's command.
He said, "Nah, you gonna do it first." They want him to sacrifice, vile things to the king. So if he does it, then that means all the other people will do it. That's what they're doing with our people right now. So they're trying to get everybody to be free Palestine. They're trying to get all of the high-ranking people. When I say high-ranking, the people who we hold in high regard, to say free Palestine. Because why? Because if they can get that, then everybody at the masses will follow in. Amari Stoudemire. Man,
he's not as famous as he used to be. His name ain't trending that. So, it didn't have that big of an impact.
Hold on, I got a song for this nigga. Salaki.
Not a song.
I got a song for him. I got a song for him.
That's crazy.
Man, if we had a,
they got the choppers out on us.
Yeah, they do. Man, I know I saved it.
He's waiting for it.
I got a song for Amari Stoudemire.
Amari Stoudemire.
Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Hold on. All right, that's enough. All right. Let's keep going with the Maccabees.
Now, therefore, come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done.
Like as all the heathen have done. It doesn't matter what the heathens do. We ain't the heathen. We're supposed to be special, separate, holy. You know what I'm saying? Set apart. We ain't doing what these other people do. What you eat don't make me eat. Keep going.
Yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards. So
they're trying to say, if you do this thing and you get these other people to do it, then we're gonna give you money. You're gonna be in the favor of the king. Your sons will have, you know, the same wealth and statue and all this stuff, right? You have something?
I was gonna say, man, this is as old as Maccabees, where it has always been our oppressor's nature to lift up a slave. To lift up a slave so that the rest of the world can say, well, what do you mean? We have equal opportunity now. Black people can be doctors. They give you a little crumb, a little piece of the cookie, a little piece of the pie, a little something that fell on the ground. And now all of a sudden, like when the king is trying to offer Mattathias, he's saying, listen, man, we'll give you gold and silver. We'll make sure that your name is honored throughout the streets. TD Jakes,
yeah,
Dollar, yeah, I mean, Shaquille O'Neal, Steve Harvey. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna go down the list, but good night.
Yeah, that list. It's quite a list.
It's quite a list.
It's quite a list. Yeah. Now let's hear what this man of the Most High actually responded and said. Keep reading.
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice.
He said he talked with his outside voice. Now look at here, nigga. Slack it. Keep going.
Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers. Right.
Although all these, you know, Amari Stoudemires and TD Snakes and what's that? Steve Harvey's do as you say, and they turn away from the religion of their fathers. Keep going, of the constitution of their fathers,
and give consent to his commandments
and do what he says.
Yet will I and my son,
as for me and my house,
and my brethren, walk in the covenant of our fathers.
Man, you can take that thing and do something that I can't say on TikTok. That's what he's basically saying. And you know what? Commanding General Yahanna has said that so many times on numerous occasions where these bastards try to get him to do and say something and compromise his truth, himself and his truth. And Commander General Yahanna has said the same thing. Take your stuff and get the hell out. Go. And for time's sake, if you can read down on your own. They got someone else to do this. They got someone else to do this in the midst. Got someone else. So let's see. Who did they cancel? Who did they cancel when they
You talking about with the spirit thrusting?
No. I'm just saying and now, like who got canceled for trying to tell the truth?
Nick Cannon did.
No, but he backtracked. Anybody who got canceled and stayed canceled. I guess you can kind of say Colin Kaepernick. I guess you can kind of say Colin Kaepernick. You know, so kind of not fully, and you know, so he had a stand, and he stood by it. He lost his career over it. You know what I'm saying? How about this? Some brothers who in the Olympics, in the '68 Olympics, who held up their, they never raced professionally again. After that, they never raced professionally again. So I'm not comparing them, but I'm just trying to give you something that you can tangibly, you know, see now in this time, right? So let's say Colin Kaepernick did what Kyrie Irving did. We can go online or go and see and pay a ticket and see Kyrie Irving play basketball right now. Why? Because he did not what Mattathias did, but he did what the other dude after Mattathias did. He got up on that pedestal. No, I can't even say that. What's that dude's name? Terry Crews. Terry Crews was the next brother that got up and said, "Oh, I'll eat the pork. I'll sacrifice the pork. No problem, massa." And he did it and told and showed everybody what he was really made of. What he was really made of. And I guess you can put Amari Stoudemire in there. I even think they paid him to say what he said. He really believes what he was saying. And because of that, we can't. Where was he? I didn't hear anything when Eric Garner was taken down. I didn't hear anything when Philando Castillo from him. Philando Castillo was unceremoniously slaughtered in front of his family. I didn't see anything when Sandra Bland was taken away and put in a dungeon where she was executed. I didn't see anything from Amari Stoudemire, but yet he has something to say and tell all black people, if we don't stand up for the small hats, to F us. That's not the spirit of Mattathias. We need to take our love off of our oppressor and put it right back on our people, so that we can hold Amari Stoudemire's of the world accountable for what the hell he says. He shouldn't be having to answer to the small hats. He should have to answer to us. Who in the hell do you think you are for talking like that? He shouldn't have to be worried about being canceled from them. He should be worried about being canceled from us. And until that day comes, we're going to have to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to have to keep teaching the truth, letting our people know who they are and who we should serve. And that's one another. We should help one another. Why? Because no one else is going to help us. No one else cares for us. Everybody else hates us. Just like that dude in the beginning of the class said, the Ishmaelite, he hates us. I would say the feeling is mutual, but you know how I feel. With that, you got anything else?
Nah, I'm so wild. You was on point with it.
And with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Barack. No sweat.
Security announcements.
I'm gonna go off on TikTok. Is that too
Yeah,
loud?
nah, yeah, definitely.
All right.
All right, security announcements. We at the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under command of Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to merge. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew and it's pronounced Ma'ishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give, right? The upcoming holy convocation we got next would be the Feast of Dedication, which is Hanukkah. The Jewish man calls it Hanukkah, but that's bastardized. The real abbreviation, the real pronunciation is Hanukkah. You understand in the Hebrew, and that is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. That will be this year, December 7th, on a Thursday of 2023 for 8 days. And you can find this in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 through 61. You understand? Make your arrangements. In your nearby zones, you can go ISUPK.com. You'll find your city, you'll find your number. Contact that number if you have any arrangements that you want to make for that holy convocation. Once again, that's the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. You understand? As well, we have, I think the next UPK cookout is out there in the southern Texas, down south Texas cookout that's in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. If you want to make it out there, you plan on making it, you want to make it, don't let funds or whatever be your issue. You understand? Reach out to whatever, reach out to the zone, reach out to the school, and we'll try to figure out some ways that you can be able to attend if you would like to attend. Put forth all your earnings and all those things and above so that you can be able to make it if you would like. Commander Yahanna will be doing a brunch down there where he'll be going into a heavy topic about if you're a woman out there, and this may be some of you women. If you're a woman out there and you've lost your man to video games and adult films, Commander Yahanna will be speaking on that, and possibly you can understand how to get your man back, how you be, how you can use your feminism, and how it is that you can get your man who was lost to video games and adult films. You understand? That'll be going down in that'll be going down in South Texas, in Southern Texas. You understand? Coming up at the end of November, I think it's November 23rd through the 27th. You got something you want to say? You sure?
Yeah.
All right, through November 23rd and through the 27th, if I'm correct. All you got to do is go on the UPK site. You'll find out the direct dates. You understand? You'll find it out. Also tonight in about 20 minutes or so, you got Commander Yahanna. He about to go live from the Black Watch channel, America on Fire. You'll make sure y'all tune in on there. Get your likes up, get the shares up, your comments, repost it, retweet it, the whole 9 yards. It's going live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The leader of our nation, Commander Yahanna. You understand? Passover is coming up. The big hitter, you understand, the joint with everybody across the globe, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. Only if you show up and you're not Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, you're not getting in the building. You're not getting a plate of food out of there. You're not coming in. You understand? You're not invited in. This is only for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You understand? Not the Palestinians and not the Israelis. Neither of them can come in either. You understand? But this is a holy convocation for us to keep. That's going down April 17th through the 21st. You understand? Make your arrangements with the hotel. There's a $200 fee for every person that is 17 years of age and above. There's a brother that did a calculation that if you calculate saving about $20, $10 every week, you'll have your $200 in no time. You understand? The Passover is not till April 17th. We are still in November of 2023, the beginning of November. Surely everybody who is 17 and above, you understand, can be able to save up $200 to pay towards this Passover fee. This is going to cover so many things and help out the nation, so that this can be a very successful event, from the lamb slaughter to the events, from the daycares that's going to be provided for the children, so that the adults can go out and have a good time, and the children can have a good time. You know what I mean? With the children's parties and the all the events that we're having, all of these things come together. So that $200 per person is most definitely needed. You understand? For us to be able to come together and keep this holy convocation, once again, the Passover, which is going to be held in Durham, North Carolina, 24 April 17th through the 21st. You understand? In Durham, North Carolina. Make your arrangements. Contact the camp leader that's over your city, over your zone, and you're going to be able to find out all the information that's been put out thus far so that you can be able to attend. Once again, $200 17 years of age or older is what is going to be required. You understand? Anything you want to add on that?
Con, yeah, real quick. Shout outs to Captain Kapash and all the I came out in the Indianapolis. It shows that they was on WRTV. Was a channel. I'm not sure what the channel is. It's channel 6. Okay. And it shows that police arrested terrorists purposely driving into a home used by a hate group.
They had to throw that.
It's a terrorist. Yeah, they had to.
I heard that.
But it was a terrorist attack that happened this past week, thinking that we're the small hats and we have nothing to do with it. But that terrorist was arrested.
That's right. That's it. You understand anymore? All right, you know what I'm saying? So remind Akim and Akwathian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you ought to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirt, black headband, and scarf. And with that, I say Amajim, which means the same. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amadi Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barak Atah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barak Atah.
Yahweh Atah. Class dismissed.